I'm a documentary producer and director. I mostly make things for the BBC and for Channel 4. I've been doing it for about 13 or 14 years, and I've just come back from a massive trip to America where I was making a series for the BBC, a 3-part series about Trump's America. So filming sort of from Chicago to New Orleans, filming sort of the flyover country, all the sort of voices that don't usually get heard, the people who voted for Trump, with an actress, quite a well-known actress, called Miriam Margolyes. I don't know if you guys have heard of her, but amazing woman, quite a crazy woman, but brilliant. So keeping that sort of going and under control was a very interesting experience, but yeah.
So what made you want to work as a director, and how did it all begin?
Why did I want to be a director? At university I did student theatre, and I was thinking of going into that, but at the time I felt like I'm not a man, I'm not from a certain kind of background, haven't been to RADA, so I sort of thought, oh, I can't really do that, but maybe television would be a bit more sort of democratic and something that would be easier to get into. After university I went to Japan, and I lived in this tiny village, and I started filming my community. So at the time I was learning Japanese flower arranging, I was learning to wear kimono, and I just started filming on a little video camera, filming my friends and all my experiences. And that got me thinking, yes, I think I really want to make documentaries. I love the idea of sort of documenting real life and being with people. So it kind of started from there.
And then did you go do formal training, or?
Yeah, I did a master's in film, and then that sort of taught me some kind of critical analysis skills, like we've been talking about. And then I was really lucky. I got work experience at the BBC, and it kind of started from there. Then I got my first paid job as a researcher, working on a sort of daytime hospital programme, where I basically got to sort of go around on the wards, talk to people about their stories. I would sort of sit on the bed with older ladies and men and talk about their love stories and their lives and their earlier lives. And I just thought, wow, I can actually get paid to sort of sit down and have chats with people and find out about their lives. And I thought, yes, this is what I want to do.
It sounds like you've worked on a big range of projects. Can you tell us about some of maybe your favourite ones, or maybe some of the most challenging ones that you've worked on?
Yes, gosh, I've worked on a whole range of stuff. So I tend to sort of do big kind of serious BBC access docs. So, for example, I've just done a series for the BBC about the Met Police that the BBC spent 10 years trying to get access to. That was a tough one. Getting the police to sort of open up and talk about their real kind of inside feelings about things is a tough job. I've done a series for BBC Three, which was really interesting, about death row. That was a very, very difficult project in terms of talking to people about those stories and those experiences. But I also try and do lighter stuff. So I've done One Born Every Minute. I did a series called The Family, which was the first time that cameras have been put into a sort of family life and filmed the family sort of 24 hours a day. So those are the kind of lighter, more fun things. Yeah.
So what really inspires you? What do you feel makes a really good story? What do you want to share with the world?
Finding a good story. Lots and lots of planning, lots of preparation, lots of research. The Miriam series that we've just done, we had 3 months to plan that, 3 months of research. So that's huge amounts of talking, thinking, casting about. And I guess in terms of what to share, that's such a massive topic, isn't it? But I guess I love working with people. I love hearing about their stories. It's a massive privilege to talk to people and be able to share their insights. And I think there are real moments of human, kind of universal stuff that you get that you really want to kind of share. And when you connect with someone like that, you really want to make sure that you can broadcast that. So yeah.
There have been certain things that you've learned about human nature doing this. I mean, you've obviously spoken to so many people. Are there some, you mentioned some commonalities there?
Yeah, I guess one of the jobs of television and of any sort of, I don't know if you can call television an art form in a way, but I sort of take it fairly seriously in that way. I guess it's just the sort of common stuff that we all have, the common experiences of love, of loss, of grief, of being together, those sorts of things really. And whenever you're filming, you always have those kinds of moments with people where you think, bloody hell, like this is a real truth, this is really it. I can really feel that this is a deep thing, and it's getting those moments out really. But I think it's a challenge too, because increasingly broadcasters are up for like entertainment of stuff that's a bit more sort of sensationalist, a bit more cheap in a way. So it's always like balancing those elements, and there's always a struggle with a producer and director to try and get those things across, and not just sort of do this fast-cutting things, which a lot of programmes now do. So yeah, it's trying to work on things where you can really, really get the chance to say something about human experience, and something that goes a bit beyond a sort of tabloid reading of things.
So is there a particular project that has been that for you that's really put this amazing human experience out there?
You're asking me really hard questions here. This is tough, isn't it?
On the spot.
All of them in different ways. I mean, I always try and choose projects that I think will have that potential. So the death row stuff, horrible subject, really, really tough subject, but from within that you get these sort of truths about human experience. Almost everything I've done has an element of that. But also, to be really cheesy, all of the things that I'm interested in are kind of about love and about connection, and I'm always trying to sort of get that across. I've sort of got my own agenda of what I'm interested in, I guess, which is connection, and getting that on screen is sort of my goal, I guess, really.
I was wondering what obstacles you might have faced along the way, especially being a woman in this possibly quite male-dominated industry.
Yes. Well, I think and it'd be interesting I'd love to sort of know later from you guys about the kind of inner obstacles that we all have. So we all have our own kind of demons and our own worries, but then there are external things too. I mean, television is it's a technical job. There's a lot of filming, there's a lot of editing. They tend to be really male-dominated worlds. And being a younger woman, and being perceived to be a younger woman as well. I mean, I'm nearly 40, but I'm often perceived to be a bit younger, and I think I found that quite difficult. Getting your own voice across, and having enough faith in your own voice too, making sure that you really believe in your own voice, has been a big thing, and a developing thing that I guess almost everyone is working on in some capacity, but that's been a sort of struggle. But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of women in television, but there are barriers, like in any industry.
And in terms of those barriers and putting yourself out there confidently, how do you find pitching your own ideas, and what advice would you give to other people if I think we all have that kind of fear about putting our work out into the world.
I bloody hate pitching. I mean, I really hate pitching. And I think that I always try and think, okay, it's all about timing with ideas, it's all a numbers game. You just have to kind of put yourself out there and do as much as you can, but it's not easy. It's really not easy. It's not my favourite area. And I think especially when you're a freelancer and you've got a full-time job, to have the energy and to make the time to be sort of having a full-time job and do other projects is really, really difficult. Yes, I don't know what my advice would be for that. But I think just be really positive, keep going, believing in your own ideas is the big thing, and sort of listening to your own inner voice, and just having the guts to get things out there.
Yeah, and what advice would you give generally for anyone wanting to start out in this industry or in a new career?
Starting out in the industry, I think think I started off by doing a master's, and I don't know if I would advise younger people to do that. I think that you can, I think just starting at the bottom, getting in there, writing to as many people as possible, identifying people that you admire, and then sort of reaching out to them. That's what I would do, knocking on doors. I mean, when I look back at my career, I've had some really good breaks, and I sort of put myself out there and tried to connect with people. And I think, yeah, I'm sort of quite proud that I did that, and I would really encourage anyone else to just do that, like connect with people as much as possible, especially in a sort of social media age. In a sense, it feels like we're all a bit locked behind our computers, and the idea of actually getting out there and connecting, writing letters, going to find people is a bit lost. So I think having the guts to get out there and do that is a big thing. Yeah.
No, I was just going to say that I think that that's a really interesting point. Is that we have almost, especially the younger generation, have almost forgotten that can still work, and it really, really does. So
yeah, I really think it does. I mean, I've done things where I've gone to sort of conferences, TV conferences, and I've literally waited for the head of documentaries at Channel 4 to come off the stage before going and doorstepping him and saying, by the way, I want to do this, what about this? So, and those things can really work. Like the power of sort of human connection is obviously, I think people really respond to that. And I think when people approach me and ask me about getting into the industry, if they write me a nice letter and they know what I've done, it's really hard to sort of not respond to that, I think. That very human thing, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and how do you find that, as a final question for me, then we'll open it up, the freelance lifestyle? Because I know you're like an actor, or people in many other industries, you're kind of take projects and then you're looking for the next project.
Yes, that is challenging, especially in the early years. It can be hard to navigate that, but I think as you go along, like anything, and your network kind of grows, it gets easier, and then you start getting recommendations and it flows. But it can be challenging, but it can also be really cool because you can have several months off. So I've worked from March and I'll finish this current job in November, and then I think I'll have a month or so off and just lie on the sofa, watch some films, eat some crisps. So I can have a bit of time off, and that's good. Sort of work really crazily and then have a break, and enjoying the freelance lifestyle for what it is. But that's, I'm sure everyone here has a sense of that too. It's like, it's hard not to be worried about where the next contract is coming from. It's hard not to sort of, think, shit, the bills.
Do you have to deal with the fear side sometimes?
Yeah, of course. And I think that's, talking about the sort of obstacles to things, quite often, I think my journey has been that I've realised, actually, I'm very lucky, I've had some really good breaks, and one of the things that's held me back is my own sense of like, can I do this? Fuck, sort of thing. So, it's sort of realising the position you're in and working with that as much as you can, and trying to sort of quell that like inner harsh critic. That's a hard thing. But yeah, it's brilliant to have things like this where we can talk about our inner harsh critics and share that's just part of human experience, right?
Because you've clearly achieved a lot despite an inner harsh critic and those moments of worry, and being in an industry where it's not always easy for women. You've continued to push forward and create a lot.
Yes, I've tried to like stuff the inner demon down a bit further, not listen too much, but I think it's learning to work with that, isn't it? It's like, rather than thinking, oh, that's sort of a wrong, I shouldn't have that. It's like we've all got that in different ways, and artistic people naturally are critical and listening to that. So it's kind of using that as energy rather than being overwhelmed by it. But again, that's learning skills, I think, isn't it, in life? It's sort of talking to other people and understanding that we've all got that. I do a lot of meditation, I do a lot of yoga, I've been to therapy, I talk to you. So, there are people to help.